Right now, there's a folder on your phone, full of things you never finished. A guitar course, you're 12% in. A podcast, 2 episodes. A blog you've been about to start for 2 years. Sound familiar? Someone asked you last week, "So, what do you do?" And you froze. Think about it. Your friends have an answer. One clean word. Doctor, engineer, done. But you? What were you supposed to say? That you're kind of into design and also learning code? And there's this podcast idea? And yeah, so you just said a bit of everything and changed the subject. But it stuck with you, didn't it? That little pause. It replayed all night. That pause. That's what this video is about. Because here's what nobody tells you. That curious mind of yours, the one that wants everything, it isn't broken. For most of human history, it's the reason your ancestors survived. So why does it feel like a flaw today? Stick with me, because the answer? It changes how you see focus, passion, and that scattered brain of yours, completely. Let's go back, a few hundred years. Back then, you couldn't afford to be just one thing. You hunted, you built, you healed, you read the weather. You remembered the stories that kept everyone alive. Back then, a mind like yours wasn't a weakness. It was the reason your people stayed alive. Then the factory came, and the factory had no use for a mind like that. It wanted one hand, one motion, 10,000 times a day. No boredom, no wandering. Curiosity? That was a problem now. And slowly, quietly, good worker started to mean one thing, stays in one place. Your teachers said it. Your report card said it. Your parents worried about it, until one day it reached you, as a question that stung. Why can't you just stick to something? And look, that system works great, if you're wired that way. But you're not, are you? So that little voice started whispering, something's wrong with you. You can't commit. Everyone else found their thing, and you're still at the buffet, plate empty, wanting all 100 dishes at once. I know that voice. I lived under it for years. Half-finished courses, machine learning, web development, graphic design, e-commerce, a graveyard of dead YouTube channels. Every time I quit something, the voice got louder, broken, scattered, lazy. But the voice was wrong, and to see why, you have to see the mistake underneath it. A mistake you're probably making right now, without even noticing. Here it is. You treat every single interest like it has to become your career. Watch what that does to you. You get into graphic design. You go hard. 3 months, tutorials, practice. It feels amazing. Then something new pulls at you. Video editing, writing, investing, and suddenly the design feels like a chore. So you switch. And the cycle repeats. And every time, another layer of guilt. But look at what actually broke there. It wasn't your curiosity. Curiosity did its job. It moved. The thing that broke was the expectation you stapled onto it. This has to be my identity. This has to make money. This has to be forever. Drop that expectation, and everything changes. Because here's what the people who do everything figured out. You know the ones. The businesses, the skills, the hobbies, and they make it look easy. They didn't chase everything at once. They found a simple trick for organizing a messy, curious mind, exactly like yours. They stopped asking, which one do I pick? And started asking, which one goes where? Because every interest you have wants to live in one of 3 places. The first place is your anchor. Out of everything you love, one thing can actually pay your bills in the next few years. Not your favorite, not your deepest passion, the one where you're already halfway decent, where there's real demand, and where you don't hate the work. That one is different. That one is the ground you stand on. The second place is sacred, and I bet you get this one wrong. These are the things you do just because they make you feel alive. The painting, the hiking, the philosophy you read at midnight. The internet screams at you, turn your passion into profit. But that's exactly how you kill the things you love. Some interests aren't meant to be sold. They're meant to keep you human. Protect those. Never put a price on them. And the third place? A shelf. Everything else goes here. The Japanese, the astronomy, those 10 other tabs open in your head right now. Not thrown away, not never, just not now. They'll wait. They're patient. They'll be there when you have room. And once you sort your interests like this, watch what happens to your time. Instead of splitting yourself into 10 useless slivers, you give the anchor the big share. Because momentum, it's the one thing you never let yourself have. You can't get good at anything on a tenth of yourself. But pour most of your energy into one thing, for 6 months, a year, and watch how fast I'm interested in marketing turns into I can run ads that actually work. That's the moment it shifts. That's the moment the ground goes solid under your feet. And your sacred stuff? It doesn't disappear. It just gets a schedule instead of your ambition. Sunday morning for the journal. Friday night for the book. Not to become something, just to be something. And here's the strange part. The moment you stop pressuring those things to grow, you enjoy them more than you have in years. And none of this traps you. That's the part that sets you free. Once your anchor is earning, once the ground is solid, you reach up to that shelf. You pull something down. You rotate it in. You combine two things into something new. Something only you could build. Because only you were curious about both. You're not doing everything at once anymore. You're doing everything in order, on purpose. And now I have to be honest with you. The way I wish someone had been honest with me. Keep chasing every interest equally. A little of this, a little of that, enough of nothing, and I'll tell you exactly where you'll be in 10 years. Same place, same folder of unfinished dreams. A little older, a little more tired. Still telling yourself you just haven't found your thing yet. But what if the problem was never that you had too many interests? What if the guilt, I can't commit, I'm scattered, I'm behind, was never the truth about you? What if it was just a strategy nobody ever taught you? Remember that pause when someone asked what you do? What if it was never a sign you had nothing to say? What if it was a sign you had too much and nobody ever taught you the order to say it in? You were never too much. You were just never organized. And you can spend your whole life standing at that buffet, starving, surrounded by everything you ever wanted. Or you can pick up a plate, because it was always allowed, one dish at a time.